All right. So last week we worked on square roots, specifically those that are rational versus irrational. A rational square root is a perfect square root. For instance, the square root of 100 is 10 because 10 times 10 is 100. The square root of 64 is another rational square root because that would be 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Irrational square roots, then, are those that are imperfect and fall between perfect square roots. So if I put my square roots next to each other, for like, let's say 9 is a perfect square root, the next perfect square root is 16. 3 and 4. That means that anything that's between 9 and 16 on a square root falls between 3 and 4 on a number line. Based off of our spacing, we can estimate where this will be on a number line based off of where it is. So if something is really close to 16, for instance, let's see, I have 10 here, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are all imperfect square roots between 9 and 16. Ergo, I can estimate where they are based off of how close they are. 10 is only 1 away from 9. So a reasonable estimate for the square root of 10 would be about 3.1 because it's really close to 9. Okay, give yourself a second, pause if you want. What's a reasonable estimate for the square root of 15? Pause if you want. That should be about 3.9 because it's very close to 4. And that's how we estimate square roots. The problem is, as we get bigger square roots, the space between our numbers becomes bigger. For instance, 8 times 8 is 64, and 9 times 9 is 81. We went from having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers in between to how many numbers in between? Take a second and pause if you need to. See how many numbers would you think are in between 81 and 64? There are 17 numbers in between here. So 65, 66, all the way to 81. Okay? So if I know which number I have, I can estimate where it should be at about the halfway mark. All right, so if I have 18 numbers in here, I think, yes, 6 would be 70 plus 10, 16, 17. 17 numbers, right? So if I have 17, that means that one of them is right here, and then there are 8 of them over here. Then my question is, how far away is the number I'm looking for? So I'm going to give you an example. What about square root of 70? 70 is only 6 away from 64, but it is 11 away from 81. So it's going to be much closer to 8 than it is to 9. So right now, try and estimate. If it's only 6 away from 64, about what would be an estimate that's a reasonable decimal? Okay, let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right about here. I think that would put us at about 8.35 as a reasonable estimate. All right, and that is your recap for last week. Rational square roots and irrational square roots, estimating and decimal estimations. You should have had an IXL topic on that, which was, sorry, give me 1 second, 8F2. So let's put that over here in red. IXL topic should have been going to 100 SMART score is 8F2. Excellent job. Have fun. Get your work done.